I had no idea how to solve the problem, and I was staring at the whiteboard and the interviewer was staring at me. I was staring at the whiteboard and it was so awkward. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Eniola. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I create content around having a career in machine learning. And so if you would like to learn more about this, I'll really appreciate if you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can get notified when I upload more content. So let's get into today's video. So today I'll be talking about some lessons I learned from failing my Google interview. Yes, I did fail my Google interview. I had to take the interview twice. So the first time I failed it, but I was able to learn some really valuable lessons that I would like to share with you today. So the first lesson is to give yourself enough time to prepare for the interview. So when I was first contacted to interview, I was super excited because, well, I was going to be interviewing at Google, but what I did not account for was the time it would take me to prepare for the interview. So prior to that, I had not taken any data structures or algorithm interviews. So I had to learn everything from scratch, right? And I probably scheduled my interview like 2 weeks after I was contacted. I had to cram in everything in 2 weeks, and that was not good at all. So my advice would be, if you are going to interview, you have two options. You either, start preparing for an interview in advance, such that when you get contacted by a recruiter, when you're ready to interview, you can just schedule your interview, a week or 2 weeks in advance, right? Or if you are contacted by a recruiter and you have not prepared before, please give yourself time to prepare, because there's a lot to learn or there's a lot to cover. And so if you would need 3 weeks, ask for 3 weeks. If you would need a month, ask for a month. There's no rush, so give yourself enough time to prepare. The next lesson was to get a good night's sleep the day before the interview. So because I had a very short time to prepare, I was still doing coding problems up until the night before the interview, and so I wasn't able to sleep early. I probably got like 4 hours of sleep the night before, and when I woke up the next morning, it backfired against me because my brain was fogged up. I was not able to concentrate. I was very drowsy. I was just a mess, during the interview. And so it's very important that you get a good night's rest sleep. I saw a study recently that says that getting a good night's rest sleep is even way more important than studying. So if you have any interview scheduled, I would advise that the day before, you actually don't even do any coding problems. Take the day off, rest, relax, meditate, just do things that would relax your body and relax your mind, and get a good 8 hours of sleep if you can, so that the next day you are energized. Sleep improves your memory, sleep improves your concentration, sleep helps reduce anxiety. So I would definitely advise that you get a good night's rest sleep the day before. The next lesson I learned is to make sure you understand the problem well and you agree with an approach with the interviewer before writing any line of code. So this is a problem a lot of people make, and I was one of those people. During one of the interviews, when I got the question, I immediately went to start writing the solution I thought was the answer to the problem. But it wasn't until I was far down, and I had gotten stuck that I realized my mistake, and by then it was too late. So my advice would definitely be, explain your thought process out loud. Make sure you are agreeing with the solution with the interviewer. Explain any assumptions you have. Just be thinking out loud. Just be thinking out loud, talking with the interviewer. Make it more like a dialogue, right? And also, consider various approaches that may or may not work. If there's any brute force solution you're thinking of, make sure you talk about all of these trade-offs and come in agreement with the solution with the interviewer before you start implementing. Next lesson is, do not be afraid to ask for help. So during one of my interviews, I was given a question and I had zero ideas on how to solve it. I was like, oh my God, what is happening? I don't know how to solve this. And instead of asking the interviewer for help, I just stared at the whiteboard. And the interviewer stared at me, and it was so awkward. So definitely ask for help. And the interviewer, they expect you to ask for help because they have hints that they are prepared to give you if you're stuck or if you need it, right? It doesn't mean that you're not a good software engineer. It just means that you just need help to guide you on how to solve the problem. So don't be afraid to ask for help. It's perfectly normal. Everybody does it. Everybody needs help. It's not a bad thing. And the last and final lesson was that failure is not a bad thing. Actually, failure is a great thing. Failure is an opportunity for you to learn some lessons that you could take on to the next adventure, to the next situation, and be better at. So I did not know this, because when I failed the first interview, I was very devastated, because I really wanted to get in then. But it wasn't until I was doing my next interview that I realized that, oh my god, that all of the preparation I had done for the first interview, all of the practice, all of the lessons I had learned, was what helped me become better the second time around. And so I was more prepared, I was more confident, because I had gone through that process the first time. I had failed, I had learned lessons, and then I could take all of that and then be a better version of myself the second time around. And so because we've been conditioned by society to think that failure is this big scary boogeyman. Well, it's not. It's actually a really good thing, because like I said, it gives you the opportunity to learn, and learning is what makes us human, right? Learning is how we grow. So don't be afraid of failure. If you take the interview and you don't pass it the first time around, that just means that the next time you do the interview, you would have learned so many valuable things that you can take into the next interview and crush it. So yeah, these are the lessons that I learned. If you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate if you share it, you like, and you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.